This one could get wild.
Mm,
I would kind of, with this one being in Arizona,
yeah.
I feel as though Arizona could run away with this one because Arizona is just a very hot and cold team. I'll get to that in a second. If this one was in New England, I think if I was betting on this game, I'd be like, stay far away. Stay extremely far
Yeah.
away from this
No,
game.
you're
I
right.
have no idea what's about to happen if this was in New England. I feel like it's going to be a little bit more pro Cardinals because it is in Arizona. But what do you think is going to happen? What's your matchup that matters here?
Yeah. I mean, I want to see one of those just like games that you talk about for the rest of his career out of Marvin Harrison Jr. I don't know if it comes I
Ooh.
don't know if it comes this week, but I think we're still waiting to see like that game that really solidifies him as the guy we all thought he was, as the one that should have been taken, that should have been taken first out of the receiver core. I think that there wasn't a lot of back and forth about who you took first in that receiver class. And of course, it was Marvin Harrison Jr., but you look around the league, you look at what Malik Neighbors has been able to do. It just, I don't know. I'm waiting to see that game out of Marvin Harrison Jr. because he does lead all rookie wide receivers with 7 touchdowns this year, but he ranks 27th in receiving grade among qualified wide receivers. He ranks 17th in explosive catches. 34th in yards per reception, 14.3. And I mean, I think it's going to be interesting, especially if they put Christian Gonzalez on him. You got two young guys going against each other. That's going to be fun. But
Mm-hmm.
like, I really want to see a game where Marvin Harrison Jr. just takes over and shuts up all of the doubters who are like,
I'm looking at it right now. He's got 2 games this year because I do agree with you. When I think of Malik Neighbors, I feel like he had a game earlier this year where he was just like an unbelievable breakout player. I feel like Rome
yeah,
Odunze has one as well.
yeah,
Marvin Harrison Jr. I don't want to slight him too much. He has had two
no,
games where he has had an elite receiving grade, and I know you weren't slighting him. I'm just making
yes,
sure. He has both those games. He had over 100 yards receiving. The game against the Dolphins in Week 8 was the one where he had 8 targets, 7 catches, buck 22, and he had a receiving touchdown. So like that one, I definitely think is a standout one. The one against the Rams, he had the 2 touchdowns, which obviously
yeah,
pumps up the receiving grade. But you're right. I would love to see one from him, and it'd be great to do it against Christian Gonzalez, who is my plus factor in this one because he is playing so well. 83.9 coverage
yeah,
grade for Christian Gonzalez over the last month. He has not had a coverage grade below 70 in the last 4 games. So it hasn't been a lot of times when you look at corners, sometimes, okay, well, this game he had an interception or a lot of forced incompletions. So it's a really high grade. And then naturally, just the cornerback position, you got some stinkers in there a little bit lower. That's not what's happening with Christian Gonzalez. He has been steady. He has been solid. He has been fantastic for this team. He had an interception in week 13 as well before they had their bye week. So I mean, my plus factor going up against that matchup that matters, sort of with him and Marvin Harrison Jr., that's going to be the fireworks part of this. I think those two
yeah.
skilled position players going at it, no doubt about it. I mean, not that I want to see a bad game out of Christian Gonzalez, but like it would mean a lot if Marvin Harrison Jr. is able to play well against Christian Gonzalez. That is for sure. Matchup that matters to me, and I've sort of had some fun with this, talking about this for certain quarterbacks throughout the year, and Kyler has even been one of them, but it is Kyler Murray versus himself. And I mean that now more than ever, because a couple of weeks ago, I mentioned that Kyler had as many multi big time throw games as he did multi turnover worthy play games. That has now shifted in the opposite direction of what you have wanted to, because I said that about him 2 weeks ago. And over
Mm-hmm.
the last 2 weeks, he has had multiple turnover worthy play games. In fact, his 5.1 turnover worthy play percentage now only trails Kirk Cousins and Aiden O'Connell since week 11. So obviously, it's not the whole season. We're talking about just the last month, this last sample size that we have here. Kirk Cousins is the only one who has a higher one, and Aiden O'Connell, he's been in and out of the lineup, so he hasn't had as many throws to him. But 7 turnover worthy plays overall. I mean, it's just, he's all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Kyler's too talented to be doing this, but unfortunately, this is how I have viewed Kyler basically throughout his entire career. That MVP season, it was so many big time throws and so little turnover worthy plays. I really thought he had turned the page. Then obviously he has the ACL injury, misses a bunch of time. Last year he's coming back, he's reacclimating himself. There were a couple of games this season where we saw him be that MVP caliber type of quarterback with the big time throws and limiting the turnover worthy plays. But it has just been more of a roller coaster than I wish it would have been this year. And I think it just goes right alongside with the fact that the Cardinals are going in the right direction, but they're not quite there yet. And I don't think Kyler's quite there yet either. So what we get out of him in this game, again, it's at home. It's against a team that you should be able to beat. That's really what I'm looking forward to seeing. Let's get another multi-big time throw game. Let's limit the turnover-worthy plays here. That's what I want to see here, more big picture, I think, for the Arizona Cardinals. What's your plus factor here for this one?
My plus factor is the other quarterback. It's Drake May, because he's been playing some really good football over the last few games. He's got 2 of his last 3 games. He's had over a 95 quarterback rating. And last week, 96.9 rating, added 59 rushing yards too to his 238-yard passing total. So he can scoot. And I feel like that's something that we keep forgetting about Drake May. Is I don't know. It's because I guess he kind of has the presence of a pocket passer, and he looks like, the quarterback that was made in the lab to sit in the pocket and throw the ball, and he's got a crazy arm, and it's great. But this man can move, and we're not giving enough credence to his athleticism. I feel like I keep saying that over and over again this season. And he's showing us, hey, listen, don't forget about me, because I can scramble around. I can get myself some first downs too that way.
Or forget about me. He wants.
Yeah, or forget about me. Right? No, exactly. Like he wants us to forget. I'm not going to forget that Drake May has wheels, and he ranks second among rookies with a 67.2 completion percentage, with a minimum of 10 attempts. So that's something too, where he's just blossomed for this Patriots team. And I don't think there's any doubt that they made the right call in drafting him and putting him in, despite the fact that this offensive line has not done him any favors. I was one of those people that was very, very concerned about putting him in with the state of this offense in New England. And he's done well anyway. I do think that the Cardinals are going to probably run away with this, given it's home and how much the Patriots have to travel, and just in general, the Cardinals are the better team, despite how hot and cold they've been. But I really do think that, the Drake May is still capable of doing some really good things. And I think what it is, Travis, I just really enjoy watching him play football. I really do.
This game could be a fireworks show. I mean, there is the opportunity for it to be, with both of these quarterbacks being the way that they are, the dual threat nature that they both have, the big arms. There's no doubt about it. I mean, this game, I'm looking at it now, the over-under started at a 44. Now it's moved up to a 46. It's one of the higher over-under totals for any of the games this week. And yeah, I believe that. And I think that Vegas is sort of looking at this game, and they're seeing that there's a potential that this scoreboard could kind of get out of control here. And so that's a game that I'd feel good about betting the over for, just because of what these two quarterbacks are capable of, and with the Patriots coming off the bye and the Cardinals coming off some disappointing games and really wanting to get back on track, and it's at home. And I think we're going to see them play really focused and want to light up the scoreboard as well. So I think this could be a fun back and forth game if Drake May can really unleash and keep pace with Kyler and what that Cardinals offense is going to do.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure you like and subscribe the video. And if you don't have a PFF Plus subscription, you can get one to see all the premium stats that we talked about here on the show, plus the expert betting and fantasy advice over at subscribe.pff.com. The description is also right below, so if you are not a PFF Plus subscriber, you can come one today.